Hey everyone! Welcome to the third episode of The Economic Struggle of Low Income Tenants. Today, we have our first guest speaker who previously lived in New York City and will be sharing his experience of living under economic stress and high rent. Let's get right straight into the call. Alright, hello sir. How are you doing?
Yo, I'm doing fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm fine, man. So welcome to Woodside Tenants podcast. Could you please?
Yo, I'm happy to be here.
Yes, great, awesome. Could you please introduce yourself? What's your name, your age, and your neighborhood?
My name is Daniel Costa. I came from the British Virgin Islands. I moved to the United States back in late 2023. I'm 18, turning 19 years old, and I used to live in Brooklyn, New York, but I moved over to Delaware.
Alright, nice to meet you, Daniel.
Nice to meet you.
We will go over like a few questions, and the first
Right.
one is about housing situation. Do you live in a single family home or a shared or multiple family household?
I live in a multiple family household. It was like a 3-story house back in Brooklyn,
Mm.
and then I also live in a 3-story house here in Delaware.
Okay, so you technically live in an apartment, right?
Well, no, it's a house, and the other house that I was living in back when I was in Brooklyn, because I used to live with my uncle. They leased it out for a certain amount of years, right? And during those years that it was getting leased, my uncle and my step aunt, they took money that they had saving up and they bought the house in Delaware, which I'm currently staying in.
Interesting, interesting. So, Daniel, do you not mind? What is the range of money you or your family spend on rent? And is it weekly, monthly, or like annually?
It's monthly, and back when I was in Brooklyn and they kind of leased it, it was monthly, and it was approximately like a rough estimate. I would have to say of like $4,500 a month alone on rent. Crazy.
It's really crazy. $4,500. Man.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Sorry to cut you off, but it's crazy because it's like, yo, we came from uh like I came from like a small place in like the middle of nowhere, the British Virgin Islands. Like we were telling, like I was saying before we started, and it's like the rent over there, like the most expensive rent would be like $1,200 a month. That would like $1,200 a month will get you like a 4 bedroom apartment with nice view, balcony, whatever. Right now and now, like $1,200 a month in the States, especially New York, can get you like a decent 2 bedroom, most likely a 1 bedroom, but if you push it, probably a decent 2 bedroom house with a not 2 bedroom house, 2 bedroom apartment with a 1 bathroom.
Hmm. Okay, I see. So, do you or your household like contribute to rent through work or like income sources?
No, they every single last person in the house except my younger cousins, my two younger cousins was working, and they would just work and then they would just pay the bills um every month. I would contribute by paying the electricity and internet bill every month, but when it comes strictly to rent, that lies down to the head, my uncle and my step aunt.
Damn. Wow. And so, how has the cost of living or rent like in your community like impacted your family over the past few years?
Man, it's a lot. I'll say that it's a lot. Like I said, comparing from what I was used to back home. So it's a lot, and I think it hasn't really impacted us in a negative way. I think uh impact us in a positive way, as they were able to um at the same time leasing a house for a few years. They had the opportunity to buy their own house in another state. So I don't really know much on it because I've never discussed rent prices or what's rent with them. My uncle will tell me like a few here and there how stuff going.
Mhm.
But I think that it impacts us um positively because we were in the financial position for it to impact us positively. Positively.
Oh, interesting. At least it's a positive impact, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, my other question is like, do you know anyone who moved out of your community because of like rising housing costs?
Sorry, can you say that again?
All right. Do you know anyone who moved out of your community because of rising housing costs?
Oh yeah, yeah. I had this friend. His name was Jacob. Him and his family was living in Brooklyn, and they were renting a house. I think he said, if I remember correctly, they were renting a house for 26, not a house, an apartment for $2,600 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they moved because they really wasn't getting a bang for their buck, right? Like they wasn't getting the proper apartment treatment that is really worth $2,500 a month. And I think that's kind of the main problem in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of uh landowners or house owners or apartment owners, tenants, they like to raise the rent
Mm-hmm.
a lot. I strictly remember that he would tell me that like every few months, the tenant for his apartment, his family apartment will raise the rent
Mm-hmm.
3% every few months, which might not sound crazy, but it is crazy. Raising it 3% every few months, that's crazy because not a lot of people could be in the financial position to do that. Because I know people that like their whole like rent eats out their check every single month. They get their check every month. They pay the bills, but the thing that eats out their money the most is the rent. So he's definitely doing great now.
Mm-hmm.
His parents found a better apartment in Queens that they're renting out. Thank God. But yeah, rent prices in New York is just crazy, man.
That's pretty interesting, eh? Does your family need to make sacrifices? Like, do they work overtime or multiple jobs to pay for the expenses?
No, thank God they only need one job, but I guess you could say, sometimes they do need to do overtime. I wouldn't say in a way like where it's like the rent needs to be paid. The rent needs to be paid. Like we're late, we don't have the money to pay the rent next month, so we're gonna work double time and we're gonna work overtime. Because my uncle works construction and my step aunt is a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
But so I would say the only reason why they will work overtime is quite literally to get extra money in their pocket, not as something where it's like I want to get extra money in my pocket so I could buy a car. I want to get extra money in my pocket so I could go out and party. It was more of I could get extra money in my pockets. So if it's like a breathing room, right? So just in case anything bad happens, they still have the breathing room to make up for whatever might happen. You know,
Mm.
it could be casualties, car accidents. Uh, it could be whatever. But yeah, it was never really anything where it's like, oh, we can't pay the bills, so we need to work overtime or we need to get a second job.
Mm.
You know, I've definitely been fortunate enough to be blessed with that.
That's good. That's good. So, based on your opinion, like, how do you feel when you hear about like the high rent prices in Queens?
Who?
How do you feel?
Um, I think I've gotten used to it compared to when I first moved here. I've definitely gotten used to it because it's like that's just the norm. Like that's just New York City. I think that's the best way I could explain it. I think that's just New York City, and New York City is an expensive city, right? New York City is one of the most expensive cities in the United States. So I guess I could say at first it was surprising, but then it became the norm because as I live here, I was like, oh, that's kind of understandable. That's how should I say? Like that's just the norm here, you know. So I'm not really gonna go against it and be like, oh, why are rent prices so high? I do think about, oh, why are rent prices so high, but that's just the norm.
The
You
norm.
know, like if you go back in history, it kind of been like that for a long time. You know, it definitely, I think it's definitely raised over the years, but that's just been the whole norm the entire time.
Mm. Yeah, honestly, like New York has been really expensive. Like the fact that if you go around like the city, like Manhattan, for example, if you buy like some
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's horrible, man. It's really
Yeah,
horrible.
it's bad, bro, and it's like it's so much, like it's not even just apartments, like other stuff like clothing stores and like like they're just so expensive.
Yeah, man. I guess as time flies, I think it could be because of the COVID-19 pandemic, I believe, or like
Yeah,
inflation
yeah,
rates. Yeah. All right. So, Daniel, I have
yeah,
a question for you. Yeah.
yeah.
If you feel comfortable, could you share your experience with economic hardship? Like, if there are any other family struggles that you haven't mentioned, or like the housing instability, or any other related challenges?
Oh man. Let's see. No, no, most definitely. Um, let's let's talk about my grandma for a second, right?
Yeah.
Uh, my grandmother, she's been like she's old, right? Like she's a grandma, like
Right.
she's old and she's planning to retire soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that New York City is just so expensive. It just become like unreasonable for her to, I guess you could say, comfortably retire with her own like money, like without relying on others. Because that's how she is. She doesn't like to rely on other people. She can, but she just refuses to. And going out every single day and working in a nursing home when you're already so old. Like she's roughly around her late 60s,
Mm-hmm.
and is hard, bro. It's hard, man. Cause um, I guess you could say like sometimes I would visit her and her back is hurt. I'd be like, "What's happened?" And she would
Mm-hmm.
tell me it's just back pain from working at like I was working at the housing and like the like taking care of other just taking care of other people in
Mm-hmm.
general.
I see.
And she would sometimes she wouldn't even go to like the office. She would go to and visit their home. So she would have to do a lot of traveling to make sure that they're okay. And it just takes a toll. But like I guess she still goes because one of the two things. At the end of the day, no matter what, the bills got to get paid,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
The bills got to get paid. If the bills aren't paid, then who knows what's gonna happen? Like when you live in New York City,
Mm-hmm.
especially in Brooklyn, you see the worst of the worst. I believe. There's this guy that used to come around my house. He would um he was blind. He was
Ooh.
blind and he was homeless.
Oh my.
And yeah, he was blind. He was homeless. A kind guy. I would give him money whenever I see him, or if I can, I'll help him get to where he needs. And it's like I asked him, like I did ask him once, like um, what happened? Why are you out here? Why are you? Don't you got family? He said, nah. He said, no. All of my family they left me, and I got evicted out of my grandparents' home that they bought because um something about he wasn't able to keep up
Mm-hmm.
with, I guess you could say, payments
Oh my.
and whatnot. But it's like, what do you expect him to do? He's blind, like, you know. Um, but it has its fair share of rough times, and right now I think Mandani is doing a great job with New York City and what he's planning to do and how he's changing it.
I would agree too, man. I would agree. I mean, honestly, I seen like Mamdani like posting like on Instagram like some new policies that he's doing, and he has some
Right,
initiatives. Oh, I have to look into it
right.
a little bit more. But what about this the blind man, right? So he asked help from y'all, right?
Yeah, well, not helping my family, but like when if I see him, he will be like, cause when you're blind, you gotta rely on other senses, especially your hearing. So he could hear when people um
Mm-hmm.
is past him and whatever. He's gonna be like, can I get a dollar, or can I get some change to get a snack? You know, he's not. He will always say, I'm not greedy. Whatever you do,
Mm.
just do it out of the kindness of your heart, and I will gladly accept it. And yeah, so whenever I would see him, I would like. There's generally sometimes where I would be hungry, so I would say, I'm gonna go to the deli and I'm gonna get a
Mm.
sandwich, you know,
You gotta give.
and right, I'm gonna get a sandwich, right, or I'll probably say that I'm gonna go visit a halal spot or a Chinese spot next to me and get some food.
Mm.
And sometimes I would see him and he would be like, let me get a dollar or whatnot. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, you're hungry? They said, yeah. I'll take him to the deli and I kind of literally split my money and help him get food, get a drink, you know? I haven't done that just with him. There was this other dude, he was saying, like, can I get a dollar to buy a snack? I was
Oh.
like, you know what, come in, what do you want? He said that he wanna a jelly, was it a jelly cream cheese on a bagel?
Hmm.
I don't know what's and why people like that. But I was like, bro, you're hungry, right? It's cold, it's late. Get something that could fill your stomach.
Yes.
And he was like, oh, what do you recommend? I was like, bro, just get a chopped cheese. Get a chopped cheese. So he ordered the chopped cheese, right? I was like, you want a drink? He said, yeah. I was like, what you want? He said, Arizona. I said, which
Oh.
flavor? He told me which flavor. I would go get it, and then I will pay for everything. Sometimes I don't even get food that night. I'll have to buy a snack
Mm-hmm.
and just eat it when I get back into the house. But listen, I guess you could say, like, it's just rough in New York City for certain people,
Yeah.
and it's better. Like, it's amazing in New York for other people, right? They're living a life. So I'll do whatever I can to help the struggling people get a better life, even if it's just for one night.
Oh. So I was thinking, right? Since you've met, like, you met this on the street, right? First thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I just have a random question in mind. Would you, if they were to like ask you someday, like if they want to have a stay or something, would you give them your house, or would you grant them, or?
I ask myself that question a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, like, as someone who believes in Christ,
Yes.
um other people would give them food and water and whatnot. But I ask myself, right, if there's a homeless man on the street, why not offer him a place to stay? Why not offer him a fresh pair of clothes? Why not offer him to come to your house, take a shower, freshen up?
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest, would I let a homeless man come into my house to stay a night or use my shower?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. Not the way I am right now. Which I'm not saying it like I would never do it. Right now, I can't see myself doing it. I'm gonna be honest. I can't see myself doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to change. Because sometimes, sometimes you just gotta go that extra mile for the person in need. Because you don't know how that extra mile is gonna change that person's life, right?
Yes.
Like imagine this. You could go bring the homeless man and he comes into your house. He gets a fresh bath, fresh shower, fresh pair of clothes to change in, and he has a nice bed to sleep that night. You don't know the next day when he leaves
Mm-hmm.
if because he freshened up and got a good night rest. He does normally.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if someone's gonna pass out and be like, "Hey, you want a job?" Because he dressed so decent and he finally got a shower and finally got a place to stay. You don't know if people are gonna be like, hey, we're hiring.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to apply? You really don't know what those small steps could really how they could really help a person the next day. But as I said, do I see myself doing it? No. But do I want to reach to the point like in the future? Do I want myself to reach to the point where I can do that for someone? Absolutely yes.
That's the spirit, man. And unfortunately, that's like literally like the flaws of the government nowadays.
Right. Right.
It's better if nonprofits like they really try to like help out in terms of like the people in terms of education. That's why education is really a powerful source that can bring you out of poverty. If you're
Right. Right. Exactly.
yes, yes, bro.
Right, exactly. But it's like um not a lot of people is gonna give you the information for you to get the education to get out. You know what I'm saying? When you like I realize this when you get closer to the top is when you really have to fend for yourself. Because is either two ways this could go when you're starting to go to the top, right? When you're really climbing your way up, let's say like you're climbing your way up to become a millionaire, right? You're gonna have to go to the roadblocks of not getting information like at all,
Hmm.
right? You're gonna have to go to like, hey, you wanna know this? Okay, you're gonna have to pay me $200 a month for my course just to learn this little piece of information. Is like, yo, like nowadays information is scarce, like actual information is scarce, and um
Mm-hmm.
the people that have those little information they'll really use it to its, I guess you could say, its fullest value, and really um put a price on it, put a expensive price on it, right?
Yeah.
Not some luxurious price, an expensive price, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense that's not bad, because at the end of the day, information is valued.
Mm-hmm.
Information is very valuable, and because it's so valuable, it comes with a price, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. But my point is, my opinion is, if it already got you, if this information has already got you where you need to be, and you don't really need it anymore, why not give it to someone else for free?
That's the point.
You know?
Yeah, and so that they won't like experience like the poverty or like struggle with on the streets, especially
Right.
when
Right.
they need to use some like skills and talents, because that's literally what can get out of them from the poverty. Like
Right, but
yeah.
the thing is, everyone is not telling, no one is telling them what skills or what talents that they need to really
Yes.
get out of there. That's the problem.
Mm. If only if.
No one is gonna tell them.
I mean, but that's life in reality, man.
Yeah,
I mean, we can't do anything about it. It's life.
quite literally, my man.
Moving on from that, on a scale of like 1 to 10, how overwhelmed do you feel when you have to combine work and personal financial pressures? And then can you be like specify it a bit or be or elaborate it?
You say that again?
So like on a scale of 1 to 10, how
Right.
overwhelmed do you feel when combining work and personal financial pressures? And then like can you explain it further?
Me personally, I feel, to be honest, it's overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
It's overwhelming at the start because for me it was overwhelmed because I would never pay myself first,
Mm.
right? I think that's the one thing people forget that you need to do before you do stuff like you go out and party or you go out and buy this luxury bag. You need to pay yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I never developed the habit of paying myself first. So as soon as I got paid, I would be like, yo, like I'm gonna go and buy some new shoes, buy some new clothes. And then when it came around for me to pay the electricity and the internet bill,
Yes.
I came up short, or either I came up short or it would drain the last of my money, and then I would be dead broke for the rest of that month until I got paid again, right?
Wow.
So, um, it was very stressful for me because I never really knew how to pay myself first. But then again, it wasn't really stressful because I had a mentor who would teach me these ropes. He's the one that originally told me like, hey, you need to pay yourself first. You got to stop doing this. You got to pay yourself first, right?
Mm.
You know that you got rent to pay. You know that well, not rent, but you know you have bills to pay
Mm-hmm.
next month or in a few weeks coming. Um, why are you planning to do this and do that? Get the bills out of the way,
Right.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then get the bills out of the way, and then you do what you want with the rest of your money afterwards, right? Pay
Right.
yourself first.
Mm. So, uh, what would you put in on a scale of 1 to 10 in this case?
Probably a 7.
Mm.
Most definitely a 7, because that's not even the rest. Because um, right now, I'm working. I work for a Instagram model, and I manage her social media accounts, and she pays me 1,500 every month just to manage all of those. And um, because right now I live alone, right?
Uh-huh.
But I don't pay. But the only bills I pay for is water, electricity, internet, gas, and then I have groceries. So I'm quite literally living by myself. Thank God I don't have to pay for rent because my uncle owns this house.
Right.
But because I learned to finally pay myself early on before I really started doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I became accustomed to it. I don't like it. I'm being honest. I don't like it. I don't like spending so much money on bills to pay, but I don't like spending so much money on bills. But at the end of the day, like they gotta get paid. Like if I don't pay them, I'm not gonna have electricity or water.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Oh man.
It's going to be a very interesting one.
All right. So, my final question for you is: are there any ways that you can manage stress during economic hardship?
Yes, I do think there is a way. Do I do it? No.
Mm.
Well, what do I mean by that is I definitely think there is a. I shouldn't say like a truthful way, but I do think there is ways for a person to really not stress about, I guess you could say, economic crisis
Mm-hmm.
or basically just money in general. But as for me, I just can't stop myself from stressing because for one, I'm a dude that I'm a person that will always think about the future,
Mm.
right? I'm always think about the like I'm always think about the future. That's just one thing. So I really can't stress. I mean I really can't not stress about anything because I'm always thinking about the future. And one thing for certain, I'm always thinking about people that are ahead of me, right? I would see a lot of people that quite literally are the same age as me
Yeah.
and on like 20 different levels above from me, and I will always compare my, I guess you could say, my economic crisis or
Right.
my economic situations or positions to them, and that would just lead me to stress. I think a good way for me to relieve stress, I
Right.
don't like it, but it helps, is quite literally just telling people my problems, just venting, just getting it out there. And
Yes.
then sometimes, and then most of the times, they give me good um feedback and good advice, and that relaxes me. But other than that, I mean, I guess you could say that smoking as well, but I stopped smoking.
Oh, good.
I
Good.
quit. Um, but other than those two stuff, nah, there isn't really any way that I like know how to don't stress about um economic crisis. And to be honest, it's kind of hard because the world is changing right now, right?
Right. Mm.
The world is changing in a different state. It's transitioning into a different state. So stuff that used to work, stuff that should work, um, back stuff that should work now, or stuff that worked back then is not gonna work anymore. How I like to think of it, because we're in the artificial intelligence, AI gold rush, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I would like to think that right now the world is finding its shape, right? Because before the world was one shape, but now ever since the AI gold rush,
Mm.
it's changing its state. And to be honest, we have a rough idea, but kind of no one knows what like the new shape that the world is gonna take go into when all of this is settled.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, there's a lot of, because everything is like formless right now,
Right.
or there's a lot of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that would be worthless is now worth a lot, and stuff that would be worth a lot is now worthless. Um and then like in the next few weeks is gonna change, and those stuff that was worthless is now worthful, is like worth a lot again, and those stuff that worth a lot and is now worthless again. So I don't think anyone could stop stressing about economic crisis with the world that with the state that the world is in right now.
Going back again to the coping question, right? You mentioned you had a mentor.
Right, right.
So,
His name was CJ. He's a famous drummer in New York. Um, he taught me a lot actually. Right. He's the one that, like, when I first came here, he's the one that really showed me the ropes of how to make money, right? Because I came from a different place and I only know how to make money from like I only know the methods to make money from those places, and he told me like here, like basically you can make money doing anything. It's just that you just gotta be committed to it, right? I mean,
Mm.
he does it, and he does it. He doesn't. He never told me that.
Mm.
He never told me that. He showed it to me.
Ah.
That's why I appreciate him so much. Other people are gonna tell you stuff. He's gonna show it to you,
Ah.
right? So one time, I guess you could say one time, he's a drummer, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing he does. He drums, right? So one time, he was gonna pick me and my friends up, me and the other guys up, my friends, to go and practice drumming with him. And when he stopped to pick us up by it was a McDonald's. When he stopped to pick us up, right? Quite literally, when like he said, like, hold on, I gotta fix the back of my car before um before y'all could really get in. When he opened the back, it was quite literally just money on the seats and the floor. It was
What?
like 105, tens, 50s,
What?
just scattered all over the back, and he had to, because he was counting them, and when he was driving towards us, they kind of jumble up,
Mm-hmm.
so he had to just bag every single thing, and watching that, and it's it's crazy because before he picked us up, he was in Manhattan just drumming out in the open, and those money are just money that people took out of their wallets, and I guess you could say tipped him or donated to him. So
Mm.
just by that sight alone, it showed me that hey, you could really make money in any way possible. You just got to be committed to it. You know,
Ah, there you have it, folks. Mm.
is that it?
That's how it, that's literally the solution somehow. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you really need to be committed, like to work. Number one, sorry, we're going to go back to our points, right? Work for the money and to pay rent. Have a good
right.
education, be committed to it, and then like I mean, so my other question is like, so how does having a mentor like um manage your stress, like or for everyone especially? You think?
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like I said, if we go back to the point where I said information is like scarce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone puts a price on information. He gives me information for free, quite literally, because he's just my mentor and he's gonna help me. He helps me with a lot of stuff, and because of that, it helps me to tame my stress,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like not go past the like a certain threshold where it's like, you know, there was one point where I was so stressed that I got insomnia, like I couldn't sleep.
Uh,
Like I couldn't sleep because I was that stressed with what I was doing, mostly because I just didn't believe in myself and I didn't believe it could work. And I think that's another problem I have to deal with,
right.
overthinking the path that I go down, right? Because I'm not doing the normal path that everyone is going down.
Yeah.
Go to college, get a degree, and then get a job somewhere. Get a job somewhere in like a firm or a big business or whatever.
Right.
Um, So and there wasn't anyone who like I really knew who went down this path, and he was the only person who went down this path. So I there was a whole lot of stuff I could relate to.
Mm.
Again, a sort of way of vent my problems towards him, and then because he understands, because he went down this road
Right.
as well, it just puts me at ease.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Daniel, um, I hope were able to like enjoy this podcast, and
Nah, I really did.
you
I
really
really
did.
did, man. This is a wonderful podcast. This is a wonderful thing that you're doing.
Thanks. Appreciate it, bro. So do you have anything else to say before we close off?
Um, no, not really. The only thing I gotta say is, I guess you could say like, no matter I guess you could say. I guess I could say no matter what path you choose, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
still gonna be struggles. Just just commit to it, and you'll most likely see a way out.
Right. All right, Daniel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank
Yeah,
you so
man. It's
much.
been a pleasure.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man.
And there you have it, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the economic struggle of low income tenants.